blank. All right, so last week, hello, how are you guys today? Everything okay? We're all doing fine today?
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry.
The challenge getting everybody here,
Okay.
but we're here, we
I
made
got a
it.
plane to catch in a couple hours. We have to move the sound.
Yeah. So how are you today?
Okay.
You okay? All right. So we seem a little, a little just like monotone, not too upbeat. But that's okay. We'll work on it. All right. So we talked about the reason as to why you guys were here, and that you felt like it was a lot of like distance and a lot of like confusion and not a lot of closeness in the family. You talked about how your husband works a lot, how he's sort of never here. He's always has somewhere to go. Your daughter who's kind of cutting herself. She's out with friends. She's never at home. And then you have Terry here who works a lot, and then Jordan just kind of sort of stays to himself. And then you said that you just kind of, stay at home and you would like to be out and do more. Okay, so you want to?
He wanted me to postpone this session for a month with you, and I told him that he couldn't do it a month.
Okay.
Because he had a plane to catch in a couple of hours, he didn't want to do it today.
Okay.
I told him it's very important to the family.
Yeah, I have to fly, and before I fly, I like to have a few drinks before I fly. But instead of having my few drinks, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. So when we first came in the room, we talked about how long they're going to be, how long you have to be here, and how consecutively you have to meet. And we agreed that you would try to arrange a schedule so you could be here.
I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Reluctantly today because of this date, but I'm here.
So why did you want to postpone it for a whole month?
Because I'll be gone for at least 3 weeks.
Okay. So you don't think that this is a bit more important than that?
The survival of my family.
Yeah.
I have to feed them.
Okay.
I have to pay the bill. That's
Yeah,
my job.
we have plenty of money saved to get by.
Why do you think that you feel like you have to, over-provide? Just for what your wife was saying, you said he feels like he has to over-provide.
It's not over-providing. Yes, we have money, and yes, we are very comfortable.
Mhm.
But the umbrella of that comfortability has been brought on by my job. My job is to provide, and that's what I do.
I think he uses his work as a distraction to get away from us. I understand he has to work, but he doesn't have to work constantly. The kids are feeling it.
Okay.
Troy doesn't even know his new dad.
Hi, Troy.
Hi, Dad.
So excuse me.
How long is this? Because I have to work.
Okay, we're going to get to that in just a second. So I just want to touch on something real quick. You said that Troy doesn't really know his
He's seen him about a half a dozen times in the year Troy's been with us.
Yeah, you're adopted, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Troy, just tell me how it's been since you've been living with your family.
Very good. Mom treats me very well. And I like that too. If he was home more, I like to.
Oh, Lord.
So-
Now it's the Troy show.
Okay. So who do you think you have the closest
I stay at work.
relationship with?
My mom. When I go out.
And why do you think that is?
Because the others are always out and they don't want me in their room. And nobody.
Would you like
My
to,
mom is always here for me.
would you like to interact more with your dad and your brother and sister?
Yes.
Troy's been helping me cook, so we've been teaching recipes, and Troy asked me just recently, how come Terry and Casey don't cook with us? They used to.
Okay, so let's just ponder that question for a second. So Troy asked you, then what was your response to Troy when he asked you that?
I said, they're busy and a little older, and I'm glad you can share this and learn great food, because whether you're a boy or a girl, you have to learn to cook. Feed yourself.
Okay. So, Terry, we're gonna.
I have to work.
Okay, I'm here. Let's talk a little bit. So how long have you been working?
This is my first job.
Okay.
I go to school too.
Okay, so you go to school, and then what do you do when you get out of school?
I work.
You work. So you work from what time?
I get out of school at 3, and I go to work at like 5 o'clock, and I work as much as they let me.
Okay.
Because Dad always says that it's good, it's good to provide. And when I grow up, I'm going to have to provide for my family.
Okay. So you said something very important. You said when I grow up.
Yeah.
When you grow up. So do you think you want to like take some time now and just be a normal teenager and not work as much? Or do you feel like you need to work?
Working is being a normal teenager.
Okay.
Dad used to tell me about when he was a teenager and he used to work all the time.
Terry has quit sports, And any other activities, any friends, they're all distant. It's just school and work, school and work. I think that's unhealthy. It's good to work and have a good work ethic.
Okay, but you see, my thing is, I want to instill, especially in my boys, that the work ethic is the most important thing. Just because daddy and mommy have money doesn't mean you're gonna get everything that you want. If you want something, you need to learn to work for it, not just come running to daddy because the time
But
is
yet
gonna
you
come.
tell Casey don't get a job. When she had a job interest last year, you told her she shouldn't work. Girls don't work, Mom. Your dad said, girls
The
don't
part-
work.
Girls don't work.
The priority of the woman, in my view, is to take care of the house, take care of the family, take care of the children. As long as the man can provide a suitable home life for his family, what is the essence of a woman working?
Okay, we're just gonna hold on there for just a second. I wanna get your opinion on all this, because you look kind of like zoned out, and you don't look like you kind of agree with your dad is saying and what your brother is saying, so just.
Oh no, they pamper me. I can get whatever I want when I want. I don't have to work not a day in my life.
So your position is you don't feel like you should work, or would you like to work?
Nope, I'm overworking now. I'm ready to lay back and have it coming to me. So a man's gonna provide for me regardless.
Okay. Did you feel like that before, or has your view changed recently?
Well, it changed like last year. Like Mom said, Dad pretty much said I couldn't get a job. He said that I had to be helping Mom in the kitchen, but she replaced me, so it don't matter. So
He came home, she came home so excited with her working papers. She said, I'm gonna get a job with my friend in Forever 21. I get a 50% discount. She was so excited, and that just fizzled in 2 days
But
after Dad spoke to her.
what she should be learning is the things that you do. Taking care of the home, taking
She
care of.
knows how to cook, she knows how to do laundry, she does all
But
that.
that's what she should be doing on a daily basis, not to just know how to do it, but to master
So
it.
you don't think that she should be working at all?
No,
Okay. Is it just because of her age, or is it because she's your daughter?
she's my daughter,
So your daughter should be working, you don't think your wife should work either?
absolutely not.
Okay. But do you feel the same way, or do you see,
I thought about getting a job. I know we don't need the money right now, but Craig doesn't think that's a good idea. I have experience and I have degrees and I can get a job, but he feels I should be home, and not part of me, most of me feels I should be at home with my family too. I do dream about having a job again one day when the children are older, but Craig doesn't think that I should ever work. I think that's taking away from a part of me, but I want to make him happy.
that leads into my next question. I was gonna ask you, do you think that you're fulfilled just being home and not working? Or do you think you'd be more fulfilled if you was to work part-time? Not just for money, just for you.
I think I will be more fulfilled if I worked a little bit and had a little independent in something outside of the home to do.
Do you think that that's like non-negotiable, or do you think that's possible, or do you think that that's something that she
Is
would
it
like to do?
non-negotiable?
It's
I
not, it's
don't-
not for money, it's just for something for her to do, just to work part-time.
I understand this from that it's not for money, excuse me. But I also understand that statistically, a parent who isn't home in the house all the time with the children suffer and run into things.
Is that based off past experience, or just the statistics? Or does your past have anything to do with that at all, or is it something that you grew up with, or are you just going off statistics?
I'm going off statistics, what I've learned. I know, look at me, I'm successful, okay? I make a lot of money. We have a big, beautiful house, nice pool in the backyard. The kids can do the things that they want to do socially because of the blanket of comfort that I bring to them.
But I am home all the time, and both Terry and Casey are having issues outside. They are both experimenting with drugs and alcohol.
So I just, for a second, I just want to, you mentioned the blanket of comfort. So I just want to take away the blanket of comfort, take away you saying you provide for them and that you have all the money you need, you have everything you need. So are you guys really fulfilled? at this moment with currently doing what you want to do? Like, that's the thing. Are you fulfilled now, staying at home and not working, not doing anything? Are you actually fulfilled going to work, you know, that your wife is home and that your son is working all day, your daughter is out cutting, doing alcohol, doing whatever, that the son that you guys adopted together doesn't feel like he knows you at all? Are you fulfilled with working, going to school and working every day and like not doing sports and not doing anything? Are you really fulfilled with that?
Boys are supposed to work.
I'm not asking you what they're supposed to do. You're telling me what your dad is telling you. I'm asking you, from your point of view, are you really fulfilled with that?
It makes me happy to make money.
Does it make you happy to not be able to do activities like sports and go out with your friends and hang out and not have to work so much? Are you really fulfilled with working?
I mean, I kind of miss it, but I know that when I grow up, I have to work, and it's learning. So
The key thing you keep saying is when you grow up. You're not grown yet. You're still a teenager. You're 15.
right, but it's important for boys to have their own
I
money
hear what you're saying. You're saying
and
it's
be
important.
independent.
Are you saying it's important because your dad taught you it was important, or are you saying it's important because that's really how you feel?
My dad always says, and my granddad always says, boys are supposed to be independent and make their own money.
So
I'm a
this is
self-made man.
this is something that kind of runs in the family.
Although if you're asking if my family has a good work ethic,
Mhm.
as far as my extended family, absolutely.
Okay. Right? Are you really fulfilled with what I can imagine you fulfilled with just not having to do anything, having everything handed to you, but like not working and, you know, possibly being married and not working and having your husband do everything for you and not having an option to work if you wanted to.
No, that's fine with me. Daddy already told me that I'm supposed to find me a rich man that's gonna take care of me, so that's fine.
Sure. Are you fulfilled now with just being in this family and,
Yes.
you know?
Yes, I'm okay with everything. Everything is good. My mom looks after me. And when my dad is around, sometimes
Would
he's
you like for your dad to be around more?
better, yes.
Would you like for your brother and sister to be around more? Would you like for you guys to do more stuff together?
Yes. Yes, I would like to. But because they're so older, they don't really want to. They stay on the
Mama's boy.
How are we doing with this, you know? Gotta catch my flight,
Okay.
and I'd like to have a drink.
Yeah, you can have your drink, you know, if you really want to have your drink.
Yeah, we
You
should
think that it's
before we fly.
appropriate for you to have a drink? You're going to a business meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long is the flight?
It's from here to California.
So how many hours is that, like 2, 3 hours?
No, it's about 5 or 6 hours.
Okay. And you want to drink before your meeting?
Well, the meeting's not until tomorrow, but I gotta check into the hotel, and then there's a convention that I have to make sure that I check in for. I have to check in and do all these things.
Why do you keep mentioning that you want to have a drink?
I'm thirsty?
You don't want any water?
No. I wanna go unwind, loosen my tie, go into the plane, sleep for the 5 or 6 hours, have a few drinks before I get on the plane, take the flight, land, get off the plane, have a couple more drinks, then head to the hotel.
Do you do anything else to unwind besides have a drink and loosen your tie?
Mhm.
Do you do anything else to unwind?
As far as,
You said you want to unwind. Unwind means you would like relax.
yes,
Okay, and how do you relax? You drink to relax?
actually I have a few drinks.
Can you do anything else to relax besides drink?
I do. I watch TV while I drink.
So as a family, do you guys go out and do stuff wholly together?
Sometimes.
Not just mom and Troy, not just you going out and you going out, and you going to a business meeting. Do you guys do stuff together as a collective?
Sometimes they force us to do it, and
Not a lot.
me and Terry just kind of try to avoid it, but
Thank
it's
God.
always working.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, they're on their phones or the whole time, like she's doing now,
Well,
on,
good text.
worried about what her friends are wearing. And Troy did spend some time with Dad when a couple of months in, after he came to live with us, he took him to a meeting with him.
So meetings.
He's trying to teach him the work ethics too. I don't want him to be tainted with that at such a young age. I think he should have fun.
How do you know that it wasn't fun for him to be at the meeting?
Sure, was the meeting fun?
Yes, I enjoyed the meeting. I like
Did-
to
what-
see the adults dressed up and they're talking big words and stuff like that. So I enjoyed going into the meeting.
And it wasn't all work, you know, when he was with me, we went out to dinner, you know, we did things here and there in between my work. But my work has to come first, because without my work, I can't take care of it.
All right, so you guys submitted the geogram. Want to take a look at the geogram? So it's over the course of 3 generations. It's over the generation of your grandfather, your father. Well, no, did I say that wrong? Your father, this generation, and then the next generation, which is you guys. You guys understand what that means? All right, no problem. So at the top here we have, on this side we have your
My-
father and mother.
No,
On
we
this
have
side.
my grandfather, my father and mother, and then my wife and I.
And then on your side too, we also have your family on this side. And then you guys are all connected to both sides of the family. Okay. So we're looking at the lines here, different patterns of lines, and we went over what those lines mean. You have confused, you have strained, you have normal, you have distant, strained, different types of relationship, cut off, different types of relationship. So just from the genogram that you guys drew, just you tell me what you can see from the genogram.
I see myself coming from a family of women who take care of their men but are educated. I see my husband coming from a family of workers who don't have the strongest ties with their children, probably because of the too strong work ethic. What do you say?
I want you to tell me what you feel about, how you feel about it. I just want you to tell me what you see from the patterns that we have around the genogram.
I
As
see
they
the
correlate to
work,
now.
I mean, I mentioned it earlier, I see the work ethic from my grandfather to my father to me. I see, you know, according to that the men of my family do like to drink. I see a lot of things that we've talked about here.
Do you see, on here, do you see you have a couple of brothers and sisters, right? And you see the relationship that, from your father, that they had with your father. Do you see a pattern of that with the kids that you have now?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's, my brothers, I have 3 brothers. We all have the same work ethic. We all have jobs that are demanding. We all have jobs that we use to take care of our families. I mean, it's been quite some time since I've seen my brothers because of our schedules. But we talk on the phone.
Okay. So from the relationship you see up here that your dad has with you and his sons, you see kind of that kind of distant relationship. Now, if you look at the bottom here, you kind of have a distant relationship with your own children. So I'm asking, do you see the pattern there?
Yes, I see the pattern.
Well, I mean, I see like a lot of like problems within the family, and like I noticed that like my grandmother had like a child young, like my mom had a child young, and like they got married and just had kids like real young, but I don't intend to do that. So I don't know.
You don't intend to do that?
No,
Why do you think you're not going to do that?
because I'm careful.
Be careful. It's a little bit something we're going to explore. Side note later, but we'll talk about that.
She's not careful.
She's not careful. What does that mean?
How would you?
Mom, you don't see the boy sneaking in her window in the middle of the night?
This is true?
How are you seeing boys sneaking in my window in the middle of the night?
Because
Aren't you supposed to be working?
I'm coming home from work.
So when you come home late, that's when you see them.
I'm looking up like, what's going on?
Okay. And Dad, where
We're
are you?
working on a project for school, Mom. Don't worry about it.
Oh, see, All right, Troy, I know you're 9, you know, but we talk closely about this to be sure that you understand what the different lines mean. So just kind of tell me what you see. I know you're adopted, but just tell me what you can see. I don't want to say as an outsider, but from a, you know.
Well, I see some cut-offs, family members who have, due to the distancing, they have really isolated themselves on both sides. And I see the same pattern with each other. He goes off to work, she stays in her room, and I'm left alone, not having anybody to communicate with except mom.
So, you were talking a little bit about the relationship that you see up here with your uncles, and we were talking about the relationship now that you see with your brothers and sisters. And you were saying that I was trying to explain to you what that line means, and it means cut off. Maybe it's some kind of cut off relationship.
You mean like my brother and sister not spending time with me and they go by themselves and not paying me any attention?
Kind of, sort of, yes, sort of like a cut off. Or I guess I want to say distance. Because it's not necessarily cut off, because I think cut off would be like you don't see them at all.
Right.
So I would say this is a distance.
Right.
So that means it's a chance for you guys to, you know, get together and communicate with us.
I love that. So I want to spend time with my brothers and sisters.
I kind of skipped you when I went around. I apologize for that.
That's all right.
So,
I was hoping we were almost finished anyway. I got to do it.
well, yeah, we got a little bit more time. You know, we got a 45-minute session. You know, I want to give you the best 45 minutes.
Okay.
Your dad worked so hard to pay for it, so you know, I want to give you the 45 minutes.
My dad's got a good job, he has insurance.
Yeah, see that? All right, so just from what you can see, tell me what you see on the geogram, how it kind of correlates to what the dynamic of your family is now.
All right, let me see if I remember. I don't remember exactly what everything means, but from the pictures, it looks like the same pictures. Like, that's our family, right? With my mom and dad, and my brother and my sister.
Right here for food.
And that's my granddad, and my grandma. And then that's my grandpa's dad, right? They all look like the same picture.
So you said the lines or the patterns that connect them look the same.
Yeah, they look the same.
So what does that mean to you? If it looks the same here at the top, which means it looks the same then, and it looks the same now, what does that sort of mean to you?
I mean, it just means it's the same. I think it means that we're the same, right? Like we do the same things, our family is the same.
So the same thing that your granddad and your dad did as a family, you think that you're doing now?
Well, yeah, because it looks like, you see, like there's two lines. What is those two lines? What do they mean?
Two lines. Sorry, Kay, I'm sorry, you just threw me off.
Cut off.
Oh,
Cut
what is
off.
two lines?
Cut off.
I thought it was two lines and there's a slash in the middle that means cut off. This is cut off right here.
No, it's divorce.
This is cut off.
Cut off.
Like distance.
This is hostility.
Yeah.
No, we want distance.
You can use it as distance. It don't-
So that's why they.
Yeah, you gotta let me know what lines you're talking about. I'm like, what?
Okay, so anyway, those two lines, I'm gonna cut that. I'll
All
figure
right,
it
so
out.
we make a right.
Because that's like distance, you said, right?
Right, yeah.
That's what I feel we have. I mean, I'm working, because that's what I'm supposed to do. But I'm not close to my sister anymore. Sorry, I told them.
Whatever.
But, you know, and I miss my sister. I don't even know, Troy. I mean, I like you, but I'm always working, so I don't have time to spend with my family.
So you would like to spend more time with your sister? Did you used to spend time with her in the past?
We used to be close,
But now since you're working, you don't spend much time with her.
because I'm supposed to work.
And so you would like to have a relationship with your work?
With my little brother, yes.
Okay.
And I like to see my dad more, but as men of the family, we have to work.
Well, Terry wanted to take Troy to work with him too. And I didn't think that was a great idea.
My dad that's what boys are supposed to do.
So since he's your brother, you feel like, okay, let me bring him in, you know,
Yeah.
so work me like that to be working.
He's too young and it's dangerous.
It's dangerous to put a work ethic in a young boy.
He just turned 9.
All right, so I'm just gonna go back to you again. Kind of want to seem like you wanted to take a look at the gene brain and kind of talk about. We're gonna talk about how your side, maybe not what you see.
Like I said, you know, outside of the fact that I'm married outside my culture, all the women in my family do the same thing. They take care of their family and their children, their husband, and his family if they're around. But I've been trying to get Greg and the kids to go on a vacation and visit my family in Jamaica for over 2 years. And we're always with his family. They always come over. I cook for everybody. I learned how to cook all his family's favorite dishes.
When you're from Italian, right?
Yeah.
You know, usually when Craig's away at work, which is a lot, I make my Jamaican dishes so the kids can enjoy them. They do, but when Dad's around, they only want Italian food. You know, and he's
They
not-
only want to tell
They
you
only
where
want
he
what
only.
Dad- no, they only want what Dad wants. They only want lasagna and all the Italian food, sausage and peppers and chicken parm and everything like that. They don't want any of my food, my beef patties and oh my good
The curry
delicious
chicken.
curry chicken. I was going to say that, but I can't even say it in front of him because he hates it. He hates the way it smells if I was cooking it and he walked in the house and he smelled it. That's why I never make it when he's even in the country or in the state or anywhere near. That hurts me a little bit.
Why do you think?
Why do I think what?
Well, he says he likes to eat anything at all. He doesn't like to eat.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that she doesn't feel like she can cook Jamaican dishes? Why do you feel like your
She can
kids?
cook her Jamaican dishes.
So
Listen, her complaint is, I'm never home. So why can't she cook the Jamaican dishes when I'm not home? And then when I'm home, cook me what I want? What is the issue with that? I don't
There's
see
no
why.
issue. I don't mind. I'll cook anything that anybody would eat and enjoy.
Well,
But I wish
I'm
you
not
would enjoy what I
listen,
enjoy sometimes.
Listen, I don't like oxtail soup or whole cock soup. Those are not dishes that I like, okay? Those might be things that you enjoy, and that's fine. I want my chicken parm, I want my sausage and peppers, and that's what I want.
And they make it. What's wrong?
So then where's the problem?
I want to stop a minute. You mentioned that your kids love the Jamaican food. They
They
love the
do.
curry chicken and,
Don't you?
and the oxtail.
They might be embarrassed to admit to it now when I die.
So why do you think that if your dad is around and your mom mentions that she's going to, potentially make Jamaican food, you're like, oh, no, we have to have Italian.
Because we know how Dad is. Dad does not like it. So we always have him. We don't see him very often to,
So you think that if she makes it, he's just going to be like, all right, I'm believe it.
yeah, he's going to just leave again. He's just going to disappear. He's not going to want to be around us or want to interact with us at all. So it's just easier to side with him.
And I
And
try
Dad
to, yeah.
Dad says the man of the family makes the rules.
And I try to cook whatever he wants whenever he's here. One day, a few months ago, his flight, he took an earlier flight. He came in the evening before he was supposed to come in, and the house smelled of coffee. He was enraged. First, he was going to pick up the phone and order food. Instead, he just left and went and ate down the block at the pizzeria.
Why do you
And they followed him.
Why do you think you did that? Why do you think you came home and you smelled curry and you just?
I can't, with no offense to my wife or my children, I just can't stand the smell of curry. I don't like the food, My thought was, hey, I'll come home early because my wife is saying I spend too much time at work, so I was able to get a flight in a little bit earlier. I come home and I'm looking to eat, and then all we have is,
So how cool was it? So when you guys married 15 years ago, right? You were Italian then, right?
born, bred, and raised.
But she was Jamaican then, right?
Absolutely.
So when you got married, did you just assume that she would not eat any of the Jamaican food that she she would never cook it. If you guys get married, potentially had kids, you never thought she would want to continue with that.
No, I thought you'd take care of the house, I thought you'd take care of me, take care of me.
Give me what you want.
What I would prefer.
So if she makes something that's not an Italian dish, that's not taking care of it,
I guess not, if it's not what I want. If you're gonna make something you know I'm not gonna eat, is that taking care of me?
And make it when you go home. I didn't expect you home, so you came home to
Right,
surprise
so
us.
it's done, I got somewhere to go.
just a second, so we just give, so what if she was to say that I didn't like Italian food, I like Jamaican food because I'm Jamaican? And so if you wanted to take care of her, would you say, okay, we need that?
I do take care of her. I do
No, no,
not.
I'm not from a monetary standpoint. If she wanted to cook Jamaican food, and she actually can we eat this, if you said no, do you think that that's not taken care of? Because if she cooks what you want, she's taking care of you.
I would never tell her, no, you can't eat this, you can eat what you want.
You don't think it makes her uncomfortable if you come in and you smell her and you just storm out? You don't think that makes her feel as if she can't cook it or she can't enjoy the dishes she's
And I
doing?
think he can tolerate it because on our very first date, he took me to a very fancy Jamaican restaurant and ate everything. He was willing to even eat off my dish on our first date. Everything.
Listen,
He enjoyed it. I was so happy that here was this man outside of my culture who I liked so much, was so interested in what I had to show him and
listen,
share
you're
with
talking
him.
about the courtship, okay? Those days are gone.
That's just a girl, right?
But he was able to tolerate it.
That went out the door with I do.
All right. So just from what we saw with the do around, from what everybody saw with the line you see, from the connection you see with the family, I'm just gonna hold up and give you a reminder. I just want everybody to just kind of think for a minute about what you saw. And think about the relationships that you've seen over generations, the relationship you see that you guys have now according to what you kind of put on the kid ground. Kind of think about the things that you think are kind of connected or kind of repeating itself. Things you think unconsciously or consciously that you're repeating to do in the relationships that you had in the past that kind of bringing into this generation. And try to think of things that maybe you can do or you can do to kind of change a little bit. Some things that you can kind of step back and not do as much to kind of make it different.
Right.
Because if not, it's potential that the pattern is going to continue. So when you get married, you have kids. Then you get married, you have kids. And, you know, you'll make a baby girl and you see that it's kind of sort of the same. So just try to think of some things that we can do, baby steps, you know, to kind of change the lines a little bit. To make them not diffuse or cut off or distance or things like that. To make them normal, healthy, loving, you know, lines. Just change it up a little bit.
I'll try anything to keep my family together and happy, but I need them to be willing to work with me.
So what are some things you think that you would be willing to kind of change?
I would be willing to do anything. I need the older kids to be more interactive with myself and Troy and Dad when he's around. I need him to be more interactive with all of us too when he's here. I understand he can't be here and I accept that all the time. But I would like Casey to stop hanging out with these questionable people, and I found some good parts in the woman she denies it hers. I'd like Terry to work a little less and do some fun teenage boy stuff. Play a sport again. Read some comics or his baseball cards with his buddy next door again, something like that. And spend a little more time with Troy as a family.
So now, as we're going around, I just want you guys to kind of just listen and then think about everything the other person is saying. Okay? I'm going to skip you off. I want to get to last.
Well, like, I see like a lot of like I guess what was brought to my attention is that like all my grandparents, like all my grandmothers and my mom like married young, got pregnant young, and like that's a little scary to me. So like
And that's a pattern that you notice on the gym.
right, that's a pattern that I noticed on the genogram, but you know at the same time like mom isn't really attentive, dad is never home, like mom is spending all her time in Troy, she's not paying us any attention at all. So like that's why like me and Terry do our own thing, because it makes no sense for us to involve ourselves because everything is Troy, and it's like, what about us?
So I want you to just think of some things maybe that you can do. You can't change anybody, just want to think of things you can do or some initiatives you can take to kind of change the.
I guess I could be around a little bit more and try to decrease on some of my not so great behaviors. My not so clear and open behaviors that I engage in. So I guess I can decrease on drinking. Whatever. You don't know.
Sarah, what do you think of some things that, what are some things you think you can do? Just kind of.
I don't know, I guess I can try not to work so much, although I do like the money. I can try. I see the little lines reminding me of cut off or, I don't know, distant, whatever it is. I mean, I want to have a family and I want to be able to take care of my family, but I want to be happy too, you know, so.
So it's like saying that you don't want the lines that you see here that drag from this generation to this generation. You don't want to drag it to, you know.
I don't want the lines.
So what's the thing you did that you would do now?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I could try to work with, hang out with my brother and my sister. She's a little dysfunctional, but I miss
I
her.
wanted to point out, I'm sorry, that Timmy's grades have taken a real nosedive since he's working crazy amounts of hours. And I want Timmy to focus a little bit on school for his own good. If he's
I'm
willing to
working,
agree.
Mom, working there.
Sarah, you keep saying that you're working, but I just want you for a minute, just think about taking work out of the equation, right? You're a teenager now. Your grades are dropping. So do you think that your education is more important than working, or do you think it's working is more important? I don't want you to tell me what you think your dad would say. You said what your dad would say. I want you to tell me what do you think? If you said you want to be successful, you want to have a family, do you think that you need the education to do that?
To some degree, because there are a lot of self-made millionaires
I hear what you're
that
saying.
have no education.
You sound just like your dad. Do you think that you need to focus on school more?
I guess that would help. It's kind of important.
What do you think?
All I want to do is that everybody gets, everybody not fight so much. And because I don't want to go back to the hospital. And I want to, I want to have time with my sister, brother, and my father.
Same with you. You always wanted to be a big brother. I listened to you.
So we're gonna close it out with your dad. So what do you think from everything that you've seen, you saw, you heard from your family? What are some things that you think, not some things you feel are obligations, some things you like, what are some things that you think that, from what you saw, you think that you could possibly do to kind of change the dynamics, change the trajectory?
100% honest. I've seen patterns in the genegram. I've seen patterns that are passed down from my grandfather that I've started to pass to my children. I don't see anything wrong with the work ethic that I have, or that they had, that's passed down. But I do see that the drinking is questionable, and that's an issue. I've passed that along to my daughter, obviously, because of what I do. But as far as the education portion, yes, I come from a family that were mostly blue-collar workers. I think the education that I got from that is I have moved into a scenario where I did educate myself. And it was one of the things that I tried to pass on to my children, and I can see that the pattern is my son is picked up on my vibe of work ethic without education. the reason why I became educated is because, like you, I've taken, or my father and my grandfather have taken me to do the work that they did. I didn't like what they did. So that's why I became educated, because your grandfather, as you know, is a retired mason, and the backbreaking work that it wasn't for me. So that's why I became educated. Your grandfather, I'm sorry, my grandfather, your grandfather was a carpenter. I didn't mind the work when he brought me there, but it wasn't as backbreaking as the mason work, but physical labor work wasn't for me. So, I mean, I do see patterns, and I have to rethink my position.
So do we want to kind of change sort of some of the patterns and some of the relationships that we have? Try to sort of change the family dynamic to be closer? Or do you guys want to continue to have this?
No, I think that we all want to be closer.
Yeah.
We would like to try.
I miss my dad. I wish he was around more.
So you all just got a sense of what everybody saw and how they felt, and you kind of got an inside piece of the emotion behind what everybody actually felt, so instead of what you think the person felt. So I just want you guys to just kind of think about that, and next week we're going to really get into how we're going to make changes.
He won't be here next
To
week.
change the patterns.
You forgot, he won't be here next week.
I think he's going to be here this week.
He's not going for 3 weeks.
He's going to be here next week.
Postpone it. I'll be here next week.
He will?
I'll do it next week, yes. I will be here. I
And
think-
why are you going to be here next week, Pete?
Because my family is important too.
And that's the whole point. The whole point of why you're being here, understanding the importance of family, wanting to change things. So that's the huge stuff. So we're gonna wrap it up today. Next week, we're gonna pick up with that. I think that's a great day to pick up with. Okay?
Okay.
All right, y'all can go.
Thank you.